What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's another episode of Chuck's Kitchen. It has been a few weeks. I apologize for the delay, but work's been getting real busy and haven't had too much time to be in the kitchen. Been traveling between New York, Florida, the Carolinas, been picking up a lot of great recipes along the way. Now, this is a special request. I'm going to be doing a chimichurri steak with a chimichurri marinade. This is requested by my future mother-in-law, Mary Marino. So shout out future mother-in-law. Keep sending in the great requests. A little bit of Father's Day episode too. Happy Father's Day to all the dad watchers out there. We're going to be doing the marinade, the grilling of the chimichurri steak, and then of course I always bring you guys some bonus content, so we'll be doing a special beer review. Now kick back and watch the show. Let me introduce you to the stars of the show. These are our ingredients this week. Now for the chimichurri marinade and sauce, we're going to have a little citrus action, so a lime and a lemon. These guys right here. Instead of red onions, I'm going to do a shallot, a few cloves of garlic, one diced jalapeno. We're going to dice some fresh parsley, some fresh cilantro. We're going to use just a little bit of rice wine vinegar, and also a good bit of olive oil for the base. And then since I don't really like fresh oregano, I'm just going to use the oregano and the Italian herbs and seasoning we got here. And then last but not least, a nice 1.5 pound thick cut skirt steak. Just got done chopping up the main ingredients, so wanted to show you all kind of how I chop these up. So this is the cilantro here. It's about 1/2 cup, just very, good chop on that. Next is the parsley. Now that was a fine chop as well. About 7 cloves of garlic, loose chop on that. This is a shallot. Now for those of you who don't know, shallot is a fancy red onion. It's like the French boy red onion style. And then I took a jalapeno, chopped it up, no seeds at all. We don't want it too spicy. And then I got my citrus for the nice bright flavors. All of the dry ingredients into our little mixing bowl here. I did add 2 tablespoons of sea salt. I just, kind of shaked it up in there, not too exact. And then what I do here, instead of, the recipe calls for about a 1/2 cup of red wine vinegar. I think that's a little too tart. So I like to cut it with some citrus flavors. So I squeeze 1/2 of a lime in there, and I'll do, about 1/2 a lemon in there as well. I love the citrus notes. I think it really brightens up the dish and adds a nice bright flavor. Now after that, we're gonna do 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. Now you don't have to be too exact on this because olive oil is the base. So the more olive oil, the more marinade you're gonna have. Okay, with that being said, and then I am gonna do probably 1/8 of a cup of red wine vinegar. I just don't like the vinegary taste that much, but it is important for the acidicness of the dish. So that's about all I want. I'm gonna take that, and then with my fork here, I'm just gonna give it a nice good mix. And just keep mixing it for about 1.5 minutes, make sure everything is marinating and hanging out there together. It's gonna make the flavors so much stronger. All right, now that we got our chimichurri sauce all nice and mixed up, you guys can see here on the camera, we're gonna be adding it to our skirt steak. Now, the reason why I chose a skirt steak with this dish is skirt steak is nice, long, and thin, but it has these muscle fibers in the steak that would make it a really tough steak if you didn't slice it thin and marinate it overnight. So the acidicness in the rice wine vinegar and also the lemon and the lime that we used in the chimichurri sauce, that's gonna cut down some of those fatty fibers and the muscle in there. So when we do throw this on the grill in 24 hours, it is going to be full flavor and not that tough. So that's the reason why we use skirt steak. Skirt steak is great for fajitas, tacos, anything that you could slice thin and get a good sear on both sides, but you do not want to overcook it. So that's just a meat tip right there. Phase 2 of the process is get the marinade in the bag with the skirt steak. So I got the skirt steak in a nice gallon Ziploc bag with pretty much all of the marinade. Now, remember, you guys got to save a little bit of that chimichurri sauce for a garnish after you cook the steak. So pro tip, just don't put all of it in the bag. Now, We're gonna leave this in the fridge at minimum for 4 hours, but you know in Chuck's Kitchen, we don't do anything at minimum, so we're gonna put it in a full 24 hours. So today's Saturday. When I'm throwing these on the grill, it'll be Sunday. It'll be marinating in this chimichurri sauce all night. It's gonna be awesome. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, we're back, and it wouldn't be a Chuck's Kitchen episode if we didn't have a little bit of bonus content. Now, today's bonus content, of course, is another beer review. Now, I'm going to be reviewing Black Horse Brewery. It is their IPA. Now, Black Horse Brewery is based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, so it's about 3 hours east of where I am today in Nashville. So I'm going to give it a good crack open, good pour, and a little bit of a taste. Pouring this into my Kentucky Derby cup that I got. Shout out Churchill Downs. Now, right off the bat, you can smell nice, good hops. Smells nice and bright. A little bitter, a little fruity, a little nutty, a little piney. I like this beer. Definitely wouldn't have more than 6 of these IPAs in a sitting, just because they're pretty full. And I don't want to get too full before I eat the chimichurri steak. But I'm gonna have to rate this beer probably a 7.2. Now that's bonus content. Back to the grill. And then before you throw it on the grill, like I said, put some sea salt and pepper on the top of it. It's gonna brighten up the flavors, and it's always nice to put a little bit of extra seasoning on there too. That is all. The grill on, preheated, about 450. It's gonna be screaming hot. Got the chimichurri steak right here, ready to go on. All right, now we're just gonna do about 2 minutes per side. Don't wanna get this chimichurri steak. You definitely do not wanna overcook it. I cannot stress that enough. All right, that's gonna cook on there for a couple minutes per side. Like I said, do not overcook the chimichurri steak. It will be very, very gross. You want to do a perfect medium rare. So that's 2 minutes per side. Pulled the skirt steak off of the grill. Now, before we slice it, you're gonna have to cover it with tin foil, push it down in there, and let it rest for about 10 minutes. That's gonna allow all of the juices to set in, and because you don't want to slice it before you let it rest, because then all the juices were going to escape and then it's going to be dry. So that's just another pro tip. All right, so I got the steak all sliced up, and I want to show you guys something. So the beauty of a skirt steak is the thinner side is going to cook a little faster than the thicker side. So if you like medium or medium well, I mean, that's a perfect medium right there. And then the thicker the steak gets, the more medium rare it gets. So if you're like me and really like it medium rare, those middle pieces, I mean, look how gorgeous that is. Nice char on the outside, and then this is for the more medium well, medium to medium well side. I just tried a piece. The flavor is unreal. All right, for the final product. Now this is the skirt steak. Obviously I put that extra chimichurri sauce. Look how perfectly that skirt steak is cooked. Served it with a side of wild rice. I also whipped up a really easy grape tomato salad. So I have some grape tomatoes. I roasted some corn on the grill, some fresh mozzarella, some diced red onions, salt and pepper, and olive oil. Now that is the final product, and let me tell you, it tastes amazing. All right, that's it. Super simple recipe, easy to make, absolutely delicious. Everyone's gonna love it. Fire up the grill. Thanks guys for tuning in. This is sous chef Brody. He's my taste tester. Now, from my kitchen to yours, thanks for tuning in to Chuck's Kitchen. Next week, we're going to be back on the smoker for our usual scheduled programming, hashtag Smoking Sundays. But until then, happy Father's Day, and have a killer rest of your week. And guys, remember, stay hot.